Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. On today's video, I am going to be using my very favorite IOD transfer, Brocante. I finally allowed myself to open up my second ever one. I had worked through the first one and sold a bunch of stuff with it and wanted to create some stuff for my own home, quite frankly, and kind of work on a new Brocante transfer book to resell in my booth. If you want to see the stuff I come up with, stick around. Let's start off by doing a little review of this beautiful Brocante transfer. It is just under $40. It is 8 solid pages, a very French country, just a romantic look to this particular transfer book. I really feel like this is one of the biggest bang for your bucks, and these birds, oh my gosh, they steal the show every time. So this can be purchased on my website at createyourowncozy.com. I hope to inspire you to grab some of your thrifted finds, update them just a bit for your home. Let's get started with project number 1. This project is something I'm recreating. When I went through my first Brocante book, I made this and I wish I hadn't sold it. So I thrifted this basket for about $1. I took off the little Christmas wooden things, and at first I was just going to paint over the stripes right here. And then I decided, you know what, this is going to be a nice two-tone basket, so let's just do the whole thing. I'm using the color Prairie Gray with DIY paint. I did 1 coat, and then I took some faded burlap, sprayed it a little bit, and added a little bit of dimension. Faded burlap and Prairie Gray are one of my combinations these days. And then I decided to go ahead and do the handle for the two-tone effect. Then I got a wet paper towel, really wet, and just kind of wet distressed this paint. I did not want it to look freshly precious and painted. After doing that, I did go over all of the paint with just a clear wax so that it would enrich the color a little bit and get it sealed. Next, I'm grabbing this little transfer that I just love, this little bumblebee. So cute. So this is a piece of drop cloth that has been washed a long time ago. I'm still working on the same piece of drop cloth. Washed and ironed, and this is what I use for my projects. I like to rip drop cloth when I can. So I'm just ripping it to size so that it's nice and frayed. Making sure that when I put this down, it is on a hard surface underneath. It makes making the transfer so much easier. And I'm just using the stick that comes with the transfer book. You will see right here that the antenna does not come off all the way, so I just reline it up, and you can't even tell it wasn't on in the first place. I'm going to turn the plastic over, burnish it into the cloth. I do have to say this is an off-label use of a transfer to use it on fabric, but I have always been happy with how it comes out. Now, cutting and ripping didn't work with this little small amount. I wanted to get some stuff off the top and the bottom, so I just cut it and then pulled some strings just so that it looked a little bit better to my eye. Used some TIghtbond glue, made sure it stuck, and guys, I'm so happy this is staying with me. I had been dreaming of that one I made before, and I think this one is just precious. Project number 2 is a decor board type project piece that I bought for $3.09, and it has been with me for a while. Couldn't quite decide what to do with it, but somebody clearly used like a Cricut with some vinyl and put some letters on here, and I just peeled those right off and thought, you know what, this is such a beautiful color wood. Let's just put the transfer directly on it. But there was a weird little waxy sheen, which was a little strange. So I just went over the whole thing with liquid patina. Now I had this a while, so I know that whatever wax was on there was already cured. So I was like, let's just see if I can keep the good wood finish. Try this again. I was a little hesitant. I'm like, what happens if this doesn't work? But guess what, guys? It stuck. So I let the liquid patina dry completely. Big top would have worked too. I just wanted less of a sheen. So I went over the whole thing. Make sure that when you are transferring on wood, make sure you always keep your plastic tool flat. Otherwise you can put little divots in the wood. I burnished it on, went over a top layer, and then now it's time to add some ribbon. That cream and black ribbon is from the Dollar Tree. Guys, if you see that again, let me know. I miss it. So then I've got my pink ribbon from Amazon, and then this little lacy ribbon was also from the Dollar Tree. So I just came up with something that I thought went with the transfer well, kind of zhuzhed it up a bit, and I think this is a really cute piece and much more upcycled than when it started. The next project is something that had been in my booth for quite a while, did not sell, was looking a little scratched up, so I figured, you know what, let's update this. Basically, I am going to paint over the black. I'm using Little Black Dress from DIY Paint, and you can see that the coverage with just one coat is amazing over the white. But I realized that you could see the letters still, so I sanded it back down. Just should have done that in the first place. Always trying to save a step and making more work for myself. Am I the only one? So now I'm going to go over it. I probably did 2 to 3 coats just because I wanted to make sure there was not any evidence of the raised letters at all. And I was rushing this project that I'm like, hurry up, dry. Like, let's move on. Let's get this one finished. And I don't think I let the coats dry enough in between, but no worries. I'm going to show you guys what not to do and how to solve it if you do not let your stuff dry all the way. So after getting a little bit of black paint on the raw wood, I just got a really soaking wet paper towel and just got all that black paint off of the wood. Then I went over the black with liquid patina. I put it in a separate container because, you know, DIY paint can be reactivated. So there's a chance that some black could get on your brush and you don't want to get that in your liquid patina all the way. Now, I wish this was all the way dry. Again, I think it was because I kept putting coats of paint and not waiting for it to dry all the way. I thought, you know what looked really cute on this? This cute little sheep. I mean, look how good that looks, guys. So I am going over it, and there's one little spot that just would not stick. This little ear would not stick. So, okay, let's solve this problem. Let's go ahead and just get what will stick on here. Try my darndest to make sure everything else sticks. The letters you couldn't really see, but I got them on there anyway, just so it had this like aged look to it. And then I had to figure out, okay, so what happened is the transfer and the paint peeled off. And you can see that this is where it fits. I'm trying one last time, even with the corner of the plastic piece. I didn't care if there was a dent, it would not come off. So here you're seeing I'm very carefully doing some transfer surgery and removing it from the backing piece because the paint is attached to the back of it. So I made sure that I had the whole look right here and that I could get it to marry up, and then realized that I am just going to use this liquid patina like a little bit of glue. And once I put the glue underneath it and put the transfer right back over it and then let that completely dry, then I could go over the whole thing with liquid patina as a top coat. And unless you watch this video, I don't know that you'd be able to see that that even happened in the first place. I feel like this is a super cute little update and someone is going to snatch it up. What do you guys think? This next project I am keeping at my home. This little crock right here is usually in the after pictures in my dining room. And every time I see those after pictures, I'm like, something needs to happen with this thing. I got this. It is a Hall 5-gallon crock that I got from an estate sale. It is cracked. It is staying with me. And I'm like, because of that like little black area, I want it to look a little bit more intentional. So I grabbed this nice rectangular shaped letters from the Brocante Transfer. I'm only checking the center of this because I want that crack to be in the back. Otherwise, obviously it's a round surface and it doesn't matter where the center is. And you'll see that I want to I like adjust it and one little piece stayed on. So we're just going to stick with that little piece. And this took a while, I'm not going to lie, because there are so many little tiny pieces. I could use the little corner because I'm not worried about a crock denting. So I just used every little bit of this plastic transfer stick. It did take quite a while, but I am happy with how it is looking, like every little tiny piece. The ones that are just more of a picture and a solid piece are a lot easier to transfer. But I feel like this is totally worth it and it is going to update the look of this crock. You will notice that my after pictures are not in my dining room this week because I am in the process of updating the dining room. Now look, why have I not put like burlap in here? Every time I see an after picture and I'm like, you can see the inside of this. Heather, do something about it. I finally am. And now when I'm showing you my after projects, this is what you'll see instead of the top of a little pot. Anyway, here is a little hint of what my dining room is starting to look like. Stay tuned for that video that'll hopefully be coming out soon. But what do you guys think of this cute little crock? All right, so my fifth and final project is also for my home. I had this silver plated, it's from Avon. I paid $5.09 for it. It's pretty heavy. I did look it up. I could have sold it for around $15. Silver on its own does not seem to sell in my area, or silver plated anyway. And you know what? I want this for my own space. I've already made 2 of these. They sold pretty quick. And I want to use these cute little birds and see them all the time in my own space. You know what I mean? So I am going to paint this Apothecary. It's my go-to accent color, especially if this ends up in my kitchen, which is I'm hoping it might go over the door to the garage, We shall see what I end up doing with it. So I am going over it 2 solid coats of Apothecary. I'm going to seal it with liquid patina. I am going to then put the transfer on top of it, seal it again with liquid patina, and then add some white wax. Listen, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Apothecary with white wax is totally my jam. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this. This guy is staying with me. What do you guys think? Oh, by the way, both of the ones that I sold around $36 to $38 in my booth. So if I want to go ahead and put it in my booth, I could do that too. Okay guys, did you have a favorite today? Obviously the 3 that are staying with me I'm so excited about, but my favorite has got to be that little basket, bumblebee basket. Oh, the second I sold that other one, I was like, no, I brought it in the booth, and that night got a report that it sold, and I immediately regretted bringing it up to the booth. So the good thing about the Brocante Transfer is that you can make another one, and there's always more baskets to be thrifted. Am I right? Yes. So I'm excited to say that the products that I used in today's video are on my website at createyourowncozy.com. If you are in the North Georgia area, they are also up in my booth at Soul Sisters in Dawsonville, Georgia. That is where I'm selling my IOD products, but they are all available on my website along with my DIY and JRV products. Guys, I'm having so much fun getting into these IOD products. Like, these are the oldies and the goodies that I'm playing with. All right, so I had my video uploaded and ready to go yesterday, and then at the end of the day, IOD announced that next Friday, March 15th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when the new release is going to go live. So I'm excited to say my shipment is set to arrive today, including some of the stuff that I had wanted to order in my initial order that was out of stock. So I am getting some oldies that I wanted stocked and the really good new stuff. In addition, I did get my set of selected new release items. So next Friday, my video is going to go out at 12:30 Eastern Time, just a little bit earlier than usual. But as part of the IOD creative team, the new release is going to be published then. This is so exciting. So these items will also be available on my website to purchase, and up in my booth, my new space, Soul Sisters, up in Dawsonville, Georgia, live and in person. Be patient with me. It is my first release. I didn't know if 2 whole people would come buy their new release stuff from me or 10 people. So if you guys get a bunch of orders in, I will do a new order right away. The good thing is it's not a limited release. So if I see a demand, I'll do another order, and they said that they'd get it out within like 4 days. So let me know in the comments below if you have interest in that, so I can kind of gauge in my head. But I am so excited. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, hitting that bell notification to all so you get updated every time I upload a new video. Consider sharing with your people if you think that they would be our people as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.